Hi there, welcome back to Bioenergetics, and today we're going to look at a question sent by a guy called Taj. Said, Dev, can you specifically discuss, or rather can you discuss fear specifically in relation to tension in the neck? Okay, I thought great question. Let's get some basic stuff. We can look at a little bit of theory and understanding, and then look a little bit at exercises and that as well. But understanding is very useful with the neck because, let's face it, the necks get tense. You know, my neck can get pretty damn tense, and a lot of people out there, especially in the West, get a lot of tension in the neck. And what is that about? So the first thing that's very useful to understand is the neck is basically the kind of battleground. You know, you look at the neck anatomically, it's in between the head and the rest of the body. And the reality of today's world is we're, increasingly using a world of thoughts to try and understand and control everything. And when we do that, we're pressing down from the mind, trying to control a lot of natural impulsivity in the body. And the neck becomes a bit the battleground. The body, if you could get rid of the higher mind, would probably just go out there and go a bit crazy, let out all the tension and just scream and shout and chase after sexual partners and do all sorts of stuff. The higher mind says, no, you can't really do that. You've got to look a certain way. You've got to have everything under control. And the neck becomes a bit of a battleground between that. And so we develop a very tense neck as the mind pushes down and tries to control our bodily emotions, bodily feelings. So that's something to grasp straight away about the neck. It's this interface between the head and the rest of the body. And when the mind is going on its own track and the body's not really being allowed in, then a lot of tension can develop. I got rid of tension when I was a kid by drinking, basically, when I was younger. In my 20s and 30s, you just go out and get completely wasted at the weekend. Take drugs as well, whatever. And it's a way of letting off all the tension, Alcohol is a disinhibitor. And so it allowed me to drop some of my shyness around women, to drop some of my, to get some camaraderie with the guys, just go out and get mullered, basically, get very drunk, if you're not from British culture. And obviously after a while, if you realise that this isn't really ideal, or hopefully you realise that, and it takes a toll on your body, takes a toll on your social life, and you can't just keep on doing it. So over time, I started to learn a bit more about therapy somewhere along the line. I mean, for a while, I got into ecstasy, which is another great relaxant, but again, not really ideal to use drugs. Where are we? Okay, understanding the neck. So that's the basic thing. The more you try and control from a mental level your natural instincts and impulses, the more tension you're going to be creating. So ideally what you need to do is to find a way for your body to come out and be a bit more free, for your emotions to flow freely, and then your neck won't be so tense. And this will also reduce fear, because fear accumulates also when we've got a very hard, objective mindset. So, if you really like to see proof before you're going to even think that something might be true, we want to see proof here, guys, the kind of American male way. It's not the way all American males are. I hasten to add, and there's plenty of British people just the same. But this kind of side of the psyche that wants to really understand everything in a very hard, rigid, mathematical, formulaic way tends to create fear. If we look at America, I don't know, my new perception of America is from the British news. But what I see is a lot of people get very, very afraid. And at the same time, there's a lot of worshipping of objectivity and of the objective mindset. The two run together. If you've got an overly objective mindset and can't allow enough subjective stuff to just happen, you're going to get afraid. You're programming yourself for fear in your brain. So fear relating to, this is something where you can relax your attitude. If you think, if you pride yourself on being ultra skeptic and you've also got quite a lot of fear and you've also got a lot of tension in your neck, if you want to, you can drop some of the skepticism. That's a behavioral change you can make. You might not feel like doing that, and that's okay. And of course, we can also work at an exercise level, at a bioenergetic level. So let's look at some things we can do there. The first thing we can do with the neck is a good old neck stretch. And how that goes, you can do it standing or sitting. And if you're going to do it standing, bend your knees a little bit, so there's a little bit of flex there, so that your energy can move a bit more easily. And remember with bioenergetics, It's not like some exercise regime where you're just trying to get the body to do the right thing, you know. That, in a way, is just increasing the same problem, you know, that I've just been talking about. This heavily objective mindset, trying to make the body do a certain thing, not going to really help you. What you want to do is maintain the stretch to the edge of your comfort zone and breathe, and most importantly, really feel it. So we're going to pull down, get your fingers interlaced together and bring them to the oxy point, somewhere here at the back of the neck. Bring your elbows to the front and start to stretch down. Let's just see. Yeah, you can see me. I can't breathe through the mouth because I'm closing my throat like that, so I breathe through the nose. But what's important in this is not to just pull your neck down as hard as you can without injuring yourself, but it's to take it a bit slow and to really feel your neck as you do it. You know, do it for 30 seconds or a minute and really feel your neck as you do it. It's important. Put your awareness in there and feel. Okay, what else can we say about the neck and some exercise for it? This is a great exercise to bring neck fear. A lot of bioenergetic exercises, you'll notice maybe your neck is starting to get quite tense. And that's because as feelings start to come out of the muscle system, your mind, on a level you may not even be consciously aware of it, starts to push down a bit harder. And so particularly the bow exercise, which is a classic exercise from bioenergetics. And maybe if I stand back a little bit more, I can demo it even a bit better. You're going to stand and you're going to bring your pelvis forwards, your arms back behind your ears and your chest up like something's pulling your chest up at a 45-degree angle. Now just do this for a little while. Eyes open, looking dead ahead in a relaxed kind of focus. And if I start to breathe it quite quickly, I notice I've got tension in the back of my neck. And what I can do is just breathe out more deeply from the neck. Maintaining this stretch. I can jiggle my fingers a little bit to help energy move. It's opening up the back line of the body. Just for speaking actually even keeps my neck a little bit relaxed. Breathing out with a sound certainly does it. I can feel tension moving out of my neck. And that's what I'm looking for, a relaxed neck in this posture. Yeah, it's starting to help. It's starting to help. Okay. So our neck's a little bit more relaxed now. Okay, what else can we do? Some other exercises I enjoy doing. You might have been a bit earlier in the series. You saw them as well if you've been watching. But let's try some good old head shaking. And this is kind of like a bit like a cartoon bulldog, you see. You know, in Tom and Jerry, he's got his teeth around a bone or something and he shakes his head to try and get it. And actually what you do is you make your lower jaw loose, have a bit of tissue to hand if you tend to salivate, and you just start to swing your head from side to side. You can do this sitting or you can do it standing, or kneeling is quite good as well. But I'm not going to move my phone right again. So what we're going to do is do it standing and have your legs a little bit relaxed, your knees a little bit bent, and your feet about shoulder width apart, and you relax your lower jaw, a bit like you've got some kind of brain condition. And then you start to swing your head from side to side slowly, and then you feel into your neck and your head and see if there's a natural movement and allow your body to follow. Maybe it looks a bit like this. You can see it looks a bit gross with me because I tend to salivate quite a bit. And if you're doing it, you know, at your computer or something in the office, probably if you're in an open plan office, you're getting some weird looks. But nevertheless, it does give you quite a hit because there's a release from the neck. There's a release. I can feel my neck kind of clicking and wicking as it does it. The side to side shake, jaw relaxed, and making sound is very important in these kind of exercises. You have a movement, you breathe, and you make sound. You know, don't do it. That is keeping everything under control. Try it with sound and then try it without sound. And you'll notice when you do it without sound, it's like tension is being stored in your head. Fear is being stored. You know, you might have come from a background where it wasn't okay to make a load of sound. And if you're going to do this kind of work, you need to find a place where it's okay to make a load of sound. You just got to come out there and scream and shout. Usually the British have a lot more trouble with that than the Americans. And because we've always got this kind of little kids should be seen and not heard or something like that. Okay, that's one. Let's think of, is there one other we can do? I have a feeling there's one other we can do. And yeah, okay. With the neck, let's do a little bit like the dragon's breath or just a straight kind of gargoyle release. And in this release, again, okay, you can do it standing. You can also do it kneeling or you can do it sitting. And basically what we're going to do is stick the tongue out, open the eyes as wide as we can and breathe and make a kind of hissing sound. So it goes a bit like, ha, 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 ha. Yeah, it gives you a release from the neck. And as the tension goes, it's natural to feel a bit lightheaded and a bit of a laugh. You know, you can do that for 30 seconds. I was just doing it for 10 seconds. Really breathe deep, stick your tongue right out and open your eyes wide. You know, these things open up the whole of the upper body. Okay, so that's a little bit of story about the neck and about tension and about fear. All of these exercises work good for that. And also remember, if you have this very hard objective mindset, see if there's something you can do to slacken that off a bit in a way that feels okay for you. You know? Okay, over and out. Thanks for a great question, Taj. Back to you later.